Hi, Dan Sommer here again, your transformational life coach. And I would like to continue a little bit about the video I did 2 days ago about anxiety issues. And I got some comments on and references. And one of the, in my opinion, and this is, of course, my opinion and how I have dealt with it before, what my experience is from working with anxiety, both with myself, but also in people near and dear to me and clients. Now, I think that, in my opinion, one of the good things is journaling and to write down things about yourself that are related to your anxiety issues and your anxiety disorder when it comes up and how it comes up, how it affects your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and your physical aspect of yourself as well, and write that down. So I have collected here like a list of 10 things, questions I think you should write down and then answer them. Put them on a piece of paper and answer them whenever you have an anxiety disorder or when you think about it. But work with it, because then you can very quickly see where some of the problems might come from, what they may stem from, what is the actual cause of them. So I would go with something like, number one, what triggers your anxiety? Is there anything situations, places, sounds, feelings, smells, touch, etc.? Is there anything that triggers your anxiety more than other things? Is it a location? Is it certain people? Is it a behavior? Is it dress, smell, scent, taste? What triggers your anxiety? That's usually related to the cause of the anxiety issue. So it's very important to figure this out as well. And number two, what are the physical symptoms you experience when feeling anxious? How do you feel it? How do you feel it in your body? What common symptoms? Do you sweat? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you feel dizzy? Do you feel nauseous? Are you trembling? Do you go in total panic mode? You're frozen, etc. Do you get coarse? Do you feel like your throat get constricted, etc.? I mean, write these down, how you feel in your body. Do you feel it in your stomach, in your chest, like you can't breathe? Or how does it relate to you? How do you feel it actually, right? And then, very important, number three is, what negative thoughts or self-talk do you have when you feel anxious, right? When you have the anxiety come up, what do you think about yourself? What is your inner voice saying to you in those moments, right? Because if that's harsh on you, then there's something wrong. That's not good. We need that to be a good voice, right? We need that to be a voice that says, you got this, girl. It's okay. Or, hey, man, I'm cool. I can deal with this. And I remember Dan said, box breathing, right? Or lying down, listening to a meditation, and that tool I have in my hand, which is in my meditation, right? So work with that, try them. And four, what coping strategies have you tried in the past and which ones have been effective for you, right? What have you tried? Which one have been effective? And that could be meditation, that could be breathing, that could be yoga, that could be self-talk, could be medication if you've been on that. All the cognitive behaviors you have tried or methods, squeezing a ball, for instance, flexing muscles, jumping up and down, a lot of things that you have been maybe taught, which one worked, which one did not work, right? what do you think yourself would be the best method or a better method than what you're doing now, right? Ask yourself that question. Then 5, what relaxation techniques do you find useful? Which one have you tried and tested? What type of relaxation, right? Is it listening to music? Is it meditation? Is it guided meditation? Is it contemplative prayer? Like going for a walk or taking a hot bath or something? What is it? Candlelight? What works for you, right? What are the relaxation methods you have used? Having a massage or something? Figure this out, because it also tells you a lot about yourself and how you do it. 6, what support system do you have in place for managing your anxiety? What type of supports have you set up? Do you have someone you can call? Do you have someone you can talk to? Right? Do you have an app or a music you listen to? Do you have a guided meditation on YouTube you go to or on a web page or something? Do you have a poem you read, or what do you have, right? Write that down, right? What support systems do you have? Who do you have to talk to? Who is there for you, right? And 7, what steps can you take to challenge your negative thoughts and replace them with positive ones, right? What steps can you take? How can you do that? How can you change your thoughts? Because all of these disorders, mental disorders, are caused by your thoughts, which directly influence your emotions, which then affects your actions. And the onset of anxiety is a physical feeling and mental feeling. It causes, as we said before, symptoms in your body, but they are caused by your thoughts. Now, they may be involuntary thoughts for now because they're deep embedded in your psyche, but they're nevertheless your thoughts. It could also be thoughts about past events that triggers this, and you might have actually buried that in your subconscious, but it's still there. All we need to do is take it out and find out what it is, and then we can deal with solving it. And very common it is from people's childhood. Most anxiety comes from something in their childhood, unless they had some sort of traumatic event. So, 8, what steps can you take to reduce stress in your life, right? What can you do to reduce the stress factors in your life? And that, of course, means you kind of have to write down what it is that causes you stress in your life, when it occurs, right? Is it during certain activities? Is it meeting certain people? Is it going to certain locations, etc.? Is it hearing certain sounds? Or what is it, right? That has to do with some of the answers you gave in the first 5. Now, how do you reduce it? Can you cut down on that? Can you avoid that? Can you eliminate that? Can you prepare yourself mentally for going to such areas, etc.? Right? So, how do you do stress? 9, what self-care practices do you find helpful for managing your anxiety? Right? What type of self-care do you do? Well, what is self-help have you learned that has worked from me, from anyone else, etc.? Because we're all unique. And what may work for me does not necessarily work for you, because it's part of our psyche and our personality, what works best for us, right? Which is why I always say, this is my opinion, this is my experience, this is what worked for me, etc., in everything. And or I work generally for my clients, but that doesn't mean it works for all my clients. It doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you. We are all unique individual beings. But there are always something that will work for you, right? Now, we just need to find it once in a while, and we'll search for it. I'll be glad to help you there. Now, What small steps can you take each day to manage your anxiety and feel more in control? That's question 10. What small steps can you take each day to manage your anxiety and feel more in control? Right? Because there are things you can do, right? And it is within your own mind. It is not an outside disease. It is not something external virus that hit you. This is at this ease, that is that you're not at ease anymore. And it's caused by your thoughts about a future event, a current event, or a past event, and how you're thinking about it. And so we need to discover that event as much as we can so we can actually deal with it with some methods, right? So now go through these again, listen to this video, write down the questions, and then contemplate the answers and go through them, right? And remember always that journaling is a personal and reflective process. It's not something that's done quick. It's not somebody that can do it for you. It is very personal. It is reflective. You need to contemplate the answers. You need to dig deep to find out what's going on. You need to be very honest. And remember here, there's no one to lie to. It is for yourself, right? And there's nothing worse than a lie you tell yourself. One thing is what we lie to other people or deceit in some way, but lying for oneself is the most hurtful one. So also feel free to add any additional questions or thoughts that comes up when you're doing this. Like when you're thinking about it, like, oh yeah, well, there is this or the other thing. That's fine, because this is just my guideline. It's not your life guideline. This is something I have designed and worked with, right? But you're unique and you have different aspects and strengths and weaknesses that you can exploit and work with, right? So go there, right? And so as you reflect on your anxiety and find ways to manage it, think about yourself. What have you learned? What have you done in your life? Where are you going? What you've been able to do, what worked, what didn't work, when did it start, etc. When did it get worse? Are there certain time periods in the year, etc. What time of year, what time of day, what time of week, etc. Are there special reasons, right? And work with that. Now, so very quickly again, number one, question one, what triggers your anxiety? Question two, what are the physical symptoms you experience when feeling anxious? 3, what negative thoughts or self-talk do you have when you feel anxious? 4, what coping strategies have you tried in the past and which ones have been effective? 5, what relaxation techniques do you find helpful? 6, what support systems do you have in place for managing your anxiety? 7, what steps can you take to challenge your negative thoughts and replace them with positive ones? 8, what steps can you take to reduce stress in your life? And 9, what self-care practices do you find helpful for managing your anxiety? And 10, what small steps can you take each day to manage your anxiety and feel more in control, right? So that's my 10 self-journaling questions for anxiety and how to help relieving it and discover it and understand it better. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have benefited from it, at least learned something perhaps that you can use. And I look forward to seeing you again and enjoying it. Dan Sommer here, CEO of Entrepreneurship and founder of Ultimate Performance Lifestyle with my webpage, ultimateperformancelifestyle.dk. I'm a transformational coach and I help people overcome and become the best version of themselves by overcoming their negative thoughts and their negative behaviors and habits. That is what I do for people. I'll be glad to help you do the same. Good luck. Good night. Have a good day out there.